Well, today in Quartzsite is a very cold and windy day. When I woke up this morning, it was 33 degrees, and so it was a little chilly start. And from what the weather has been alerting us, it's going to have probably another week of the 30s and 60-ish weather. And then it's going to go down a little bit in the 20s. So it looks like a nice gloomy day, doesn't it? So I'm just taking it easy inside Shuttle Babe and just enjoying the tranquility of being kind of homey today. I have been playing with the pups and doing some cleaning and all of that, so at least that's nice. Oh, let me show you something I got the other day in anticipation of doing some hiking. This is the name brand. It's Camel Crown, and they are outdoor hiking boots. And so I wore my others out and I had to get a new pair. So these just came in. We'll slide that up a little bit and you'll get to see what they look like. This is them. A little hard to model this. They're really, really comfortable. They're real cute. They even have a camel design right there on the side. So I think that's cute. But they fit great. And I think they're going to do the trick with the tread and everything on the hiking. So I'm really happy about that. But today, I mean, I could go out there, but it's a bit cold and gloomy. Now, what I wanted to talk to you about today is in making your choice to live this lifestyle. Now, a lot of people think that by watching all the YouTube videos that they do get to watch and, studying them and watching what we're doing out here, that they got it figured out, right? It's a whole lot different once you get out here. Now, I watched YouTube videos, I think around 3 years. And, but in the same token, I was getting myself prepared for it mentally. And I think that's the big step that you've got to do. You've got to be able to know your limitations and your strengths once you decide that you want to live the nomadic lifestyle. And what I mean by that is, if, for instance, you're not used to being alone, well, that's the first reality. You are out here, you are alone when you first start out here until you meet people and hopefully like-minded, souls like other nomadic people that are living this lifestyle, because it makes the transition a little easier when you can do that. That's why I like that Bob Wells has devised the caravans 1 and 2 so that people can slide in and join up with these caravans and make the transition to understanding what this lifestyle is all about, because it's kind of like a mentoring system. And that way you will have a clearer viewpoint, hands-on training to what this nomadic lifestyle is all about. A lot of you have, commented on different things such as, what should I do to prepare myself going into this lifestyle? What kind of rig should I buy, this and that. The first thing I think that's key in this lifestyle, of course, is making your choice, to pursue it. But you have to be mentally prepared for this. It is so many avenues that you have never pushed your buttons to cross over. You have in your regular lives that you're in right now, you have people that push your buttons. And, you have to deal with it that way. But when you are out here and it's pretty much all on you, you've got to see how strong you are. If you have medical problems, if you don't like being alone, if you don't know how to entertain yourself, I mean, there's just so many things. You got to know how to be able to make your rig comfortable for you and all the aspects that will make your lifestyle a lot easier. For me, it's one way. For you, it's another. So you have to figure all that out. And one of my friends, Angie, is doing a mentoring kind of thing for one of her friends. She's telling her to practice, practice, practice. And when she was telling me about that, I thought it was brilliant, because what she has told her to do is pretty much getting herself mentally prepared for this lifestyle. She has told her to, rope out a little place in your apartment, and that's your space. If that's what you're going to be living in, get used to it. Have a sleeping bag on the floor in there. Learn how to prepare meals, and do all the simplistic things that you have to do without any of the perks. And from time to time, deal without the electricity. There are so many things that you are going to be without that you are used to having. And it's so important for you to practice, practice, practice. I love that, Angie. Anyway, I did that. I mean, I didn't even realize I was just really trying to get myself prepared. And when I bought my van, Cinnamon Girl, in the beginning when I started out, I measured the inside of her, and that's exactly what I did in my living room. I measured it out, and I put little tape, and I looked at it and went, well, okay, this is what I'm going to be living in, so how am I going to do this? So, I had to mentally prepare myself that I was going to be traveling in that little spot. Now, I didn't go as extreme as not to do any electricity and stuff in the beginning, but I did go out in my van for the 2 weeks prior to me going out on the road, and I did stay in her with my pups because I wanted my dogs to be able to not be afraid of the situation that they were going to be living in. And so that's what I did. I practiced. And I always knew that I could do it, but I know me. And a lot of people are so used to doting on other people, taking, women are caregivers. And so, they're used to doing all of the essentials for everyone else and not themselves. And that's a tricky transition that you're going to have to go through. So one of the key things is to learn ourselves again when we get out here. We're all alone. We're by ourselves. We're trying to see what we want to do, how we want to do it. And from there, it's like, wow, who am I? I forgot who I am. I'm always doing things for everybody else, including our jobs. We're always doing stuff and excelling in that way. And then finally, when we're set free to do what we want to do, it's like, where do I start? Where do I go? So for me, it was really, I knew where all I wanted to go, but I wasn't used to being just totally by myself, because I had friends and family and stuff, keeping me occupied. So that was a new learning thing for me. And then from there, learning your rig and learning how to cook, sleep, eat, clean, all that kind of stuff inside your rig too. It's little small transitions along the way. Another thing that I recommend, though, when you're considering this lifestyle is to make sure that you are in something that's safe, that it won't break down around the next curb, and that you feel comfortable in, and hopefully you don't have a payment on. If you can afford a payment, fine. But most of us, when we're setting out here trying to get in this kind of lifestyle, we have so much dollars that we have to spend on our rig and to set our rigs up and to get out here and to travel in, and it doesn't last that long. So it's really very important to make sure that you are calm and collected as far as your monetary situation when you get out here too. You don't want to be constantly worrying about that. This is a new adventure. You're already going to have all kinds of things to explore and get to know. And so I really recommend not having that on your plate. It's just too much when you're starting out. And when you're used to having everything plugged in, it's going to be difficult. You're going to be like, wow, I can't turn on the TV. I can't turn on the light. you know, most of us, when we first started out, we had a simple van and we had the basics in there. I didn't even have solar. You know, I had a high top van and I didn't do any changes to it till after a year. I wanted to experience it raw to see how brave and how strong I was and to see what I could do. Now, in hindsight, it would have been better to have had some of the amenities in there, but I guess I was proving something to myself. But anyhow, I made it through it. But the biggest thing that I learned was that we are so conditioned to having everything that it kind of gets on you a little bit. It tires you out because you're going to have to go get water. You're going to have to dispose of your trash on a much regular basis than you are accustomed to, not just outside the door in the trash can. So, you know, it's all those things that you have to worry about. Sleeping, eating, you know, all that. So these are the things that you got to think about before you even buy your first rig. And you got to know you, because like I've had some friends that have gotten out here, and there have been many of them. You know, we've contacted each other through different groups that we've been on Facebook, different van groups and lady groups and things like that, and RV groups. And they thought they were ready. They had everything going, and they got out here and they're like, I can't do it. I just cannot stand that I can't take a shower or a bath every day. I don't like it that I have to go find water and I have to dump my tanks and all this kind of stuff. So you have to realize that it's more work. It's a lot of fun too, but it is more work. And it's not going to be as simple and just as easy as you had it in your house, you know, because all of that is there with a, you know, few fingers to turn them on, and you've got everything you need. But it's not that way here living as a nomad. And many people, after they've, you know, some of them have nice rigs, and they come out here and they realize, hey, you know what? Like right now, it's so cold. You know, we have our heaters of various types, and it does help. But that's a lot of work too. You got to go get your propane, and you can run out in the middle of the night when you're freezing. So a lot of people have come to the conclusion that they like nature, they like being out here, but they got to be plugged in somewhere. So that, you know, that's fine too. Whatever suits your preference on whatever way you want to do this. It's just that what I'm trying to point out today is that you need to be prepared mentally for all of the different avenues of living this lifestyle, because you're living very minimal and you're having to do a lot of the things that you take for granted. You've got to do the extra work to have those amenities. So, you know, it's just something to think about. It's food for thought. And I just wanted to share that today. All right. Wake up and live, people. Have your adventures, because, hey, you can have a bunch of fun and crazy adventures out here. I love this lifestyle. I love being out here in nature. I love experiencing all of this. But you know what? It might not be for you. All right. Anyway, wake up and live. Have your adventures any way that you see fit to have them. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.